discusses the amount of capital. So by the term, you need to understand working capital, something that makes your business run or work on a day-to-day basis. So how we calculate the working capital ratio is nothing but receivables turnover ratio plus inventory turnover ratio minus payable turnover ratio. I know that you guys don't know how to calculate the receivables turnover, inventory, and payables turnover. You will be going through that in the session. So don't worry. So today we are going to start with, guys, I hope you all are noting down formulas on a separate sheet as I had told you guys yesterday, because I will start doing a lot of questions once I finish a certain set of ratios, and then it will be difficult for you guys to go back and forth. Okay, so today we are going to talk about activity or turnover ratios. Has anybody heard of what activity or turnover ratios are? So, under activity or turnover ratios, we are going to talk about 4 turnover ratios, and we are going to calculate the period or the cash cycle relating to it. Under activity turnover ratio, the first ratio will be the fixed assets turnover ratio, for which we will also then we will have the debt turnover ratio, and we will have the creditor turnover ratio, and we will have the inventory turnover ratio. We are also going to calculate the
can't see the
debtor.
screen.
Guys, can't see the screen?
No, ma'am.
Please let me know if you can see my screen, because I'm actually continuously typing. I hope you can see my screen, guys.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I am already sharing my screen actually.
Yes. Now
Let
we
me
can.
share it. Let me stop and share again. 1 second. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes. It's now we can see. Now it's visible.
Okay, great. Okay. So we are going to talk about the following ratios under activity and turnover ratios. The ratios will be fixed assets turnover ratio, debtor turnover ratio, creditor turnover ratio, inventory turnover ratio. And we will also calculate the debtor collection period, creditor payment period, inventory conversion period, and cash cycles. Can anybody tell me what a debtor is and what a creditor is? I hope those basics are clear for everyone, or I should go through those basics also. Um, Parul, why don't you tell me what a debtor is, or what a creditor is? Guys, this is a very basic question. What is a debtor and what is a creditor? Parul, can you hear me?
Hello, am I
I'm not
audible?
sure if yeah. Hi, Parul. So, Parul, can you tell me who is a debtor to a firm and who is a creditor?
Ma'am, debtor is a person from which we owns the money, and creditor is a person to whom
A
we
person who owes us money, or a person? 1 second. A person who owes us money, or a person to whom we owe money?
owe money.
You're saying debtor is a person to whom we owe money.
Yes, ma'am.
No, Parul. So debtor is a person who owes money to us. For example, if an XYZ, if for example you have taken a loan or a borrowing from me, you are a debtor for me. I am going to collect that payment from you. You owe me that amount of debt. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So likewise, now who will be a creditor? If debtor is a person from whom you have to receive the money, creditor will be a person to whom you have to pay the money, right?
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So you are my debtor and I am your creditor. All right. If you
Yes,
take,
ma'am.
say, a loan, or you're purchasing something from me and you want to settle it later, you are my debtor and I am your creditor. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now when we speak about fixed assets turnover ratio, basically fixed assets can be, your property, your plant, your equipment, your furniture, your fixtures, whatever basically is of long-term use and provides long-term benefits. Fixed assets turnover ratio is calculated nothing but your sales. Everybody knows what is turnover. We have already discussed it. It is your sales from your, whether it is your goods or your services or whatever is your mainstream operation of the company. So your fixed assets turnover ratio is very easy. Please try to not memorize the formulas and try to understand the rationale behind the formula so that you can remember it without memorizing it. Fixed assets turnover ratio would be nothing but your sales divided by your fixed assets. It actually does nothing but efficiently judge how effectively any particular asset, which is a long term asset, how effectively is it producing sales. So basically, when a company invested in certain fixed assets, whether the company got any return or not is measured with the help of fixed assets turnover ratio. So you guys must keep in mind one thing, that this is a very, very important ratio in manufacturing industries, which have huge investments in, equipment purchases. Uh, I will give you an example, which I want you guys to do, which example 8 was our last example yesterday. So let's start with example 9. Now, for instance, there are three companies. Say there is Facebook, there is LinkedIn, and there is Walmart. Okay. Now, their net revenue is, say, 5089. This is 972, and this is 469162. All right. Your fixed assets at the start of the year are, say, 1475, R115, R112, 324. Fixed assets at the end of the year are 2391, 187, and 116681.
Hello, ma'am.
Now I
Hello, ma'am.
want you, who's this? Yeah, tell me. Tell me,
Ma'am,
Sahil.
this ratio is also very pertinent for warehousing companies and also for the companies which are in business of mega marts. So that from for those companies used to calculate the sales per
Why is this
per
why is this relevant for why is this specifically only relevant for warehousing industries?
because they have to calculate
The
the revenue
objective
from
of warehousing,
per square foot of the area. So by having in financial terms, it will be a better picture. It will give a better
yes,
picture to
it
them.
will be, but not, no, no, yes, it will be, but the objective of a warehouse or any storage area is to store whatever XYZ goods are, right? So I understand that the objective of investing into an area which is converted into a warehouse or a storage, obviously the objective is to check whether that asset, which is that particular warehouse or storage area, is producing returns or not. Yes, but that is not the only sole kind of
That's
industry
not the only coal
that is
industry,
looking
yes,
at.
but also in the case of many mega marts or those are the business of malls or something. This ratio is very important. I have read this in sometimes.
It's majorly most important for manufacturing industries, Sahil, because when it comes to your malls, there are also a lot of perishable goods. There are also a lot of current assets. Of course, there are fixed assets and long-term assets which are involved. But in comparison to manufacturing or capital-intensive industries, of course, it is relevant to mega marts, malls, everything. But to your manufacturing concerns, it is of prime importance. All right. So, guys, can you please calculate the fixed assets turnover ratio? Always remember that the fixed assets that we take here are the average fixed assets. All right. Can you please take out the fixed assets turnover ratio? Guys, once you're done, please let me know. This should not take that long. It's a very, very basic question.
Ma'am, the answer is for FB 2.63, for LinkedIn it's 6.44, and for its sorry, the last one for Walmart is 4.06.
Absolutely right. Now we're going to proceed to do you want me to solve this question in front of you guys, or do you guys already know the answer? Anybody who's got a different answer than this? Anybody who's got a different answer, guys, please do let me know. Guys, are you there? You will always calculate average of your fixed assets, which will be nothing but this divided this plus this divided by 2, and your ratio will be nothing but your net revenue divided by your average assets. Anybody who's got a different answer, please solve it. Okay. Megha, have you understood? I did nothing, but I just calculated the average of my fixed assets, which was the opening plus closing balance divided by 2. And I divided the net revenue with the average of fixed assets. All right. So now I'm going to proceed to the debtor turnover ratio. So guys, just like fixed assets turnover ratio was sales divided by fixed assets, your debtors turnover ratio will be sales divided by average debtors. This is also known as receivables turnover ratio. Just like I was explaining under working capital turnover ratio that we will do your receivables and payables and inventory turnover ratio. So this is also known as a receivables turnover ratio. This actually relates your net. Okay, 1 second. Now, if it's a debtor turnover ratio, can you tell me what are these sales? Are these your total sales or your net credit sales?
Ma'am, these are net credits.
Yes. Why? Because if it is a cash sale and if I've already received the cash, then the debt does not exist, right? So likewise, when you have creditor turnover ratio, you will have your net credit purchases. Always remember that. So this actually, all
One
these
second.
ratios I want to tell you. Sorry, I didn't understand what you're saying.
Ma'am, 1 second, ma'am. You explained about net credit sales. So what was the reason behind that? Hello?
Guys, can you ask again what you...
Ma'am, I was asking like you explained about this will be net credit sales. So you gave some reasons. So can you explain that again?
Okay. So see, when I told you who is a debtor is a person who owes you money. So for example, I gave you that Parul took some money from me as a loan. Okay. So technically now Parul will owe me that amount of money. She has to return that money to me. So Parul will be a debtor for me because she owes me money. She is a person who has to repay me that money. Or if I sell a particular good to Parul on credit, she is a debtor for me. In my books, Parul will be a debtor because she owes me money. In Parul's books, I will be a creditor because she has to pay me that money. So when you talk about a debtor turnover ratio, when you're relating your sales to your debtors, if it's a cash sale, if those sales you have already received cash for that sale, then why would that be on credit and why will the debtor exist? Example, if I sold, say, stationery to Parul and Parul paid me for that. So Parul is not my debtor, right? She is a cash in my current asset. The amount that she has paid to me in cash will go under my cash side in the balance sheet. She will not be a debtor for me because she doesn't owe me any money. So the moment you talk about debtors, you have to talk about your net credit sales. All right. Because it doesn't make any sense to calculate a ratio. For example, I'll give you an example. This is your total sales, which is say 1 lakh. Okay, this is your credit sales, which is say 60,000. This is your, these are your debtors. Okay. For example, if you relate your debtors and your sales, total sales, it makes no sense to do that because when you have already received payment for that cash sale, that debtor doesn't exist in that book, right? So guys, you all know your basic accounting rules, right? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out, debit the receiver, credit. Everybody has done these 3 accounting golden rules. So when I make a cash sales, what is my entry? Cash account debit to sales, right? Guys, are you on the same page as me? Who's asking me this question? Okay, Megha, I will try to go a little slow. So when you talk about debtors, you always talk about your net credit sales. All right. So I'll give you an example. If say my net credit, please listen to this concept clearly. If my net credit sales say is 50,000. Okay. And my average debtors are 10,000. Okay. So my debtor turnover ratio is obviously nothing but 5 times, which is this. Always remember these turnover ratios are expressed in times and not in percentage. All right. So now can you tell me ये जो 5 times है आपका debtor turnover ratio, इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका ये मतलब है कि आपके जो नेट सेल्स
Issue
थे,
stock.
जैसे मैंने आपको, अगर आप यहाँ पे नंबर देखोगे ना, मैंने इसलिए इतने इजी नंबर्स लिए हैं ताकि आपको इसका कंपैरिजन समझ आए. मतलब कि आपके जो नेट क्रेडिट सेल्स थे वो 5 टाइम्स थे आपके डेटर्स के. मतलब कि आपके एवरेज डेटर्स 5 टाइम्स कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं कैश में. ऑल राइट guys, are we all on the same page? Can you all tell me one thing, one very basic question? मैं आपको 2-3 कंपनीज का बताती हूँ. कंपनी ए, कंपनी बी, कंपनी सी. Now can you all tell me कि हायर डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो बेटर होता है या लोअर डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो बेटर होता है? मैंने आपके सामने 3 एग्जांपल्स रख दिए हैं. इस केस में मैंने अपना क्रेडिट सेल्स 50,000 रखा है. इस केस में मैंने उसको बढ़ा दिया और इस केस में मैंने उसे कम कर दिया. इस केस में मैंने अपने एवरेज डेटर्स बढ़ा दिए और इस केस में मैंने अपने एवरेज डेटर्स 8,000 मतलब 10,000 के कंपैरिजन में कम कर दिए. कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि हायर डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो बेटर होगा या लोअर डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो? lower data. Anyone please tell me, have you guys understood this? अगर मेरे क्रेडिट सेल्स 50,000 के सेम मैंने दिखाए हैं आपको ताकि आपको एग्जांपल समझ आए. मेरे ए से 10,000 रुपए बचे, मेरे बी से 24,000 रुपए बचे, मेरे सी से सिर्फ 8,000 रुपए बचे. तो मेरा डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो इसका सबसे ज्यादा हाई है बट ये सबसे अच्छी बात नहीं है, क्योंकि मेरे 50,000 में से मैं 42,000 उससे कलेक्ट कर चुकी हूँ। मेरे पास सिर्फ 8,000 रुपए बचे हैं उससे लेने के लिए। गॉट इट guys? Are you being able to hear me? Are you guys being able to see my screen? Because nobody is responding.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
but
Yes,
we
Higher
ma'am.
needed
data
an
turnover rate. अगर मैं आपको अब मैं आपको एग्जांपल दिखाती हूँ। अगर इसमें ये देखो, इससे मेरा डेटा टर्नओवर रेशियो 25 टाइम हो गया, विच इज 5 टाइम्स ऑफ माय कस्टमर एक्स। बट अगर आप इसमें देखोगे तो सिर्फ 2,000 रुपए बचे हैं मुझे लेने अपने कस्टमर से। सो कैन एनीवन टेल मी कि विच इज सपोज टू बी द बेस्ट? ये आपके सामने मैंने एग्जांपल रखा हुआ है। ईशा, both Ishas are saying yes. Anybody has any confusion?
No, we are good.
Okay. Guys, now we're going to talk about the creditor turnover ratio. Under creditor turnover ratio, can anyone tell me what will be the
Net credit purchase
it
by
will be
average
your
creditors.
net credit purchases divided by your average creditors. अब मुझे कोई this is also known as the payables turnover ratio. गाइस, जब मैं आपको कहती हूँ कि हमें पैसे लेने हैं, हमें पैसे देने हैं, तो आपके डेटर मतलब मेरे लिए रिसीवेबल हो गए। अगर मेरा कोई डेटर है तो मेरे लिए रिसीवेबल है क्योंकि मुझे उससे पैसे लेने हैं। अगर मेरा कोई क्रेडिटर है तो मेरे लिए पेएबल है क्योंकि मुझे उसको पैसे देने हैं। तो आपको ना ये जो टर्म्स है ये रटने की जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे अगर आपको कोई बोले आप कैलकुलेट रिसीवेबल टर्नओवर रेशियो, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज, इट विल मीन द सेम थिंग एज डेटर बिकॉज इट जस्ट मीन्स द सेम थिंग दैट यू हैव टू कलेक्ट योर रिसीवेबल्स, राइट? So guys, under creditor turnover ratio, it actually helps to understand the liquidity position of a company, कि एक कंपनी अपने क्रेडिटर्स को कितनी जल्दी पैसा दे पा रही है। ऑलराइट, और हर लेंडर इस रेशियो में क्यों इंटरेस्टेड होगा? क्योंकि लेंडर इसलिए इंटरेस्टेड होगा क्योंकि उसको अपनी पेमेंट्स रेगुलरली मिलती रहेंगी कि नहीं। ही कैन एनालाइज इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस रेशियो। ऑलराइट, तो जब न्यू लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट या ऐसी कोई चीज एस्टैब्लिश होती है, दिस रेशियो इज एक्चुअली अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रेशियो। आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस रेशियो, प्लीज नोट इट डाउन। Can anyone tell me what is the creditors turnover ratio?
Hello, ma'am.
Guys,
Hello.
Sahil, let everybody also do it before you answer. Sahil, let everybody also solve the question before you answer. Has everybody done it? So the ratio explains that what are you saying, Akanksha? So the ratio explains that the amount that comes up, it means the amount is received. I don't understand your question. Akanksha, can you explain your question, please? Akanksha, if the ratio, which ratio are you talking about? In which are you talking about the debtor turnover ratio or the creditor turnover ratio example? In the 50,000 वाला example which was here, yes. So जिसमें credit sales हमारी 50,000 थी, average debtors 10,000 थी, तो इसका मतलब कि आपके net sales आपके average debtors के 5 times है, मतलब आपके average debtors 5 times cash में convert हो रहे हैं. Yes, got it. Okay. Guys, can you tell me what is a creditor turnover ratio? Sahil, you were answering the question. Hi, Sahil. You were answering the question.
5.
It is 5 times. How is it 5 times? I will also have to calculate it. Please tell me. It will be your net credit purchases, which will be your 3,38,000 minus this. These are your net credit purchases. We will divide this by your average accounts payable, but यहाँ पे सिर्फ closing दिया हुआ है, so we will just add this. Everybody is on the same page. Guys, मुझे एक बात बताओ, मैंने यहाँ पे average क्यों नहीं किया? क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ पे दोनों आपको closing दिए थे. All right. I'm going to give you guys another example. मेरे total sales are say 6 lakhs. My cash sales are 20% of total sales. My trade receivables at sales are 80,000. My trade receivables the end are 1,60,000. Can you tell me what is your debtor turnover ratio?
Four times.
Also writing down another formula for you guys, a question for you guys. Can you tell me what is your creditors turnover ratio? प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड कि क्रेडिटर टर्नओवर रेशियो ये डिनोट करता है कि कंपनी अपने सप्लायर्स को, अपनी डेट्स को कितना क्विकली पे कर पा रही है. सो एक हाई रेशियो ये इंडिकेट करता है कि प्रॉम्प्ट पेमेंट हो रही है, और एक लो रेशियो इंडिकेट करता है कि स्लो पेमेंट्स हो रही हैं. Can anyone answer this question please? पहले आप डेटर टर्नओवर रेशियो बता दो.
4 times.
Guys, just Sahil is doing the questions या बाकी सब भी कर रहे हैं? Akanksha is saying 2 times. I also don't know Akanksha. I'll also have to check. Guys, did I make some error?
You have to put
4 times. Right?
brackets at the end.
It's 4 times. Yeah, it is 4 times. What is your debtor turnover ratio? No, Akanksha, it's not 2 times. Why are you getting 2 times? Guys, आकांक्षा पहले तो आप कैश सेल्स इज 20%, तो क्रेडिट सेल्स आप लोगे 80%, राइट? बेसिकली टोटल सेल्स माइनस कैश सेल्स विल बी योर क्रेडिट सेल्स, और आपके रिसीवेबल्स विल बी 80,000 प्लस 1,60,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 2, व्हिच इज नथिंग बट 2,40,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 2, राइट? Guys, can you tell me what will be your creditor turnover ratio? Guys, according to me, without even calculating, I can tell you it will be 5 times. How will it be 5 times? Akanksha is saying 4,80,000 divided by 2,40,000. 4,80,000 is right, Akanksha, but 2,40,000 को आप इसका एवरेज करोगे ना, it will be your average debtors. ये आपके beginning और end के debtors दिए हुए हैं. So you will do 4,80,000 divided by 1,20,000. Yes. Okay. So guys, now I'm going to proceed to inventory. सबको ये वाला example 12 का आंसर सबका 5 times आया है कि has anybody got a different answer? Guys? Guys, has anybody got a different answer? Under your inventory turnover ratio, you will have cost of sale divided by your average inventory. This ratio is actually very important for not only manufacturers but also traders, basically everybody who has stock of inventory lying with them. अगर आप इसका फॉर्मूला देखोगे तो आप ये समझोगे कि जितना हाई होगा रेशियो उतनी कम इन्वेंट्री एक फर्म कीप कर रही है. कोई मुझे एक चीज बता सकता है कि बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री ठीक होती है या बहुत कम इन्वेंट्री ठीक होती है? I mean, is a firm who keeps very high inventory supposed to be an ideal firm in comparison to a firm who keeps low inventory?
Ma'am, no, it should be as per economic order quantity.
So basically, there is no ideal strategy for any firm to say कि अच्छा आपको X amount of inventory रखनी चाहिए या X percentage of inventory रखनी चाहिए. There are actually lot of people who are involved in inventory management. बहुत सारी inventory management techniques होती हैं, जैसे economic order quantity, just in time. There are various theories. एंड डिफरेंट थ्योरीज वर्क फॉर डिफरेंट फर्म्स. जैसे कुछ लोग एबीसी एनालिसिस करते हैं, जिसमें एबीसी का मतलब ये है कि वो 3 कैटेगरीज में अपनी इन्वेंट्री को डिवाइड करते हैं, ए, बी और सी. ए बीइंग द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, बी बीइंग slightly lesser important, and C being the lowest in terms of the relevance. So वो importance in terms of whether it is revenue or whether it is whatever the profit target, उसके according अपनी inventory को divide करते हैं, then they keep stocks of inventory regarding the category to which it belongs. कुछ कंपनीज जस्ट इन टाइम फॉलो करती हैं वेयर दे प्रोक्योर जस्ट व्हेन दे गेट द ऑर्डर. सो ऑफ कोर्स इट इज अ वेरी रिस्की टेक्निक, बिकॉज जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके पास हमेशा इन्वेंट्री आप उतनी प्रोक्योर कर पाओ. देयर आर टाइम्स जब आपके ऑर्डर्स लूज हो जाएंगे ऐसे काइंड ऑफ टेक्निक्स फॉलो करने के लिए. सो देयर इज नो वन जनरलाइज स्टेटमेंट टू से कि आपको इतनी इन्वेंट्री रखनी चाहिए. व्हाटएवर वर्क्स फॉर डिफरेंट फर्म्स. ऑलराइट. जब हम इन्वेंट्री टर्नओवर रेशियो की बात करते हैं तो हम एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज की बात करते हैं, वो है इन्वेंट्री कन्वर्जन पीरियड. Inventory conversion period is nothing but 365 days divided by inventory turnover ratio. ये वो टाइम है which a firm takes in converting the material into a particular sale. Have you guys got my what I'm trying to explain? कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि कम इन्वेंट्री कन्वर्जन पीरियड अच्छा होगा या ज्यादा इन्वेंट्री कन्वर्जन पीरियड अच्छा होगा?
ज़्यादा.
तो Akanksha is asking me what kind of firms are good. So देखिए, if for example if it's say an XYZ firm जिसका anyway past analysis के हिसाब से they sell a certain amount of quantity every month and they know कि उसके plus minus 20% के जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल अभी आप ले लो कोविड सिनेरियो में कोई मास्क का स्टॉक रख रहा है, so that person is not wrong, right? When he knows that there is demand for it, he is keeping stock to sell the masks, right? अब अगर कोई ठंड में बहुत ज्यादा एसी का स्टॉक रखेगा या ऑर्डर करते रहेगा स्टॉक, तो दैट विल नॉट बी अ वेरी आइडियल स्ट्रेटजी, राइट? सो इट इज बेसिकली फर्म्स जो अपने ट्रेंड एनालिसिस के बेसिस पे आप अपनी इन्वेंट्री का स्टॉक रखते हैं. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ फर्म्स, अगर आपने चुनमुन स्टोर्स और बहुत ऐसे स्टोर्स का सुना होगा जो पहले लाजपत में होते थे दिल्ली में, दे एक्चुअली ran into major losses because उनके पास इतनी इन्वेंट्री थी, and suddenly जब ये online shopping and all of that became a trend, these certain firms started running into losses because they had huge amount of inventory जिसकी वजह से बहुत obsolescence losses होते थे. All right. So Akanksha, yes, there is a certain amount of trend analysis. There is a certain amount of future prediction that you make of the kind of sales that you will make, the kind of inventory you will need. Of course, every firm would like to keep a certain amount of safeguard inventory कि अगर उस एक amount of percentage से ज़्यादा orders आ जाए. But ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप for instance कोई नया product launch कर रहे हैं, आपको पता ही नहीं है कि आपके सेल्स कितने होने हैं, तो आप भर भर के इन्वेंट्री रख लें. दैट विल नॉट हैपन. यू विल आल्सो जज द मार्केट. So there is no one fixed statement that I can tell you कि आप ये कर लो तो आपको पता चल जाएगा आपको कितनी इन्वेंट्री रखनी है. And yes, you are right that less inventory conversion period हमेशा better होता है, क्योंकि इसका ये मतलब होता है कि आप अपने raw material को जल्दी sales में convert कर पा रहे हैं. Because ultimately what is the goal of manufacturing that particular good or whatever that you're doing in a particular company with that raw material? The objective is to sell it, right? आप हमेशा एक चीज याद रखिएगा कि जो सर्विस इंडस्ट्रीज का इन्वेंट्री कन्वर्जन पीरियड कम होता है और इट्स ऑलमोस्ट जीरो, या फिर जो अपनी इन्वेंट्री अपनी प्रोडक्शन आउटसोर्स करती हैं कंपनीज, उनका भी ऑलमोस्ट जीरो या बहुत श्रिंक्ड होता है. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हर रेशियो हर इंसान पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता. ऑलराइट. Now, when we have spoken about the inventory conversion period, we are going to likewise talk about the debtor collection period. कोई मुझे नाम से ही बता सकता है debtor collection period का क्या मतलब होगा? जैसे मैंने inventory conversion में बोला 365 divided by inventory turnover ratio, मैं debtor collection period में बोलूंगी 365 divided by debtor turnover. ये आपको वो एवरेज टाइम बताता है जितने दिन या जितने हफ्ते या जितने साल आपको लगे अपने डेट्स को कलेक्ट करने में. ऑलराइट
मैम.
लाइकवाइज अगर हम क्रेडिटर पेमेंट पीरियड की बात करें, so that will again be 365 divided by your creditors payment period, which is nothing but the average time, कितना टाइम ड्यूरेशन लगा आपको अपने क्रेडिटर्स को पे करने के लिए. ऑल राइट, कितना क्रेडिट पीरियड एंजॉय किया एक पर्टिकुलर फर्म ने. और अगर मैं इन सबको कंबाइन कर दूं तो मुझे क्या मिलती है? मुझे मिलती है अपनी कैश साइकिल. Cash cycle is nothing but your inventory conversion period plus your debtor collection period minus your creditor payment period. इसका क्या मतलब कि ये उन कैश फ्लोज को कैलकुलेट करता है जो टाइम लिए पहले इन्वेंट्री को सेल में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, फिर उस सेल को एक्चुअली में कैश रियलाइजेशन मतलब डेटर से पैसे लेने के लिए, और अपने जो आपने सप्लायर्स वगैरह को पैसे देने थे आपने वो माइनस किए. सो बेसिकली इट इज, अगर आप बोलो तो इसका मतलब है कि कितना टाइम हमारा कैश टाइड अप था इन्वेंट्री में, कितना टाइम तक टाइड अप था, जितने टाइम में फिर वो सेल हुआ, फिर कितने टाइम में वो सेल होके हमें वो पैसे आए, और हमने अपने सप्लायर्स को कितने पैसे कितना टाइम लिया पैसे देने के लिए. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज नथिंग बट दिस इज योर कैश साइकिल. Guys, are you all there or are you all tired of listening to me for 50 minutes? Guys, हम एक काम करते हैं, we'll take a quick 5 minutes break. इसके बाद मैं आपको कुछ examples कराऊंगी. Let's take a quick
Divya.
5 minutes. Yeah, Sahil, tell me.
Hello, Divya. Can you write
Yeah,
365
tell me.
slash 52 slash 12 in can you write 365 slash 12 slash 52 and then divided by inventory turnover ratio? Because
Yeah.
ideally we used to calculate in the
कई क्वेश्चन में आपको 360 भी दिया होगा, मतलब दैट विल वेरी
yes ma'am.
डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्वेश्चन. मोस्टली आपको वो डेज मेंशन होंगे क्वेश्चन में, ठीक है. और अगर नहीं मेंशन होते हैं तो आप हमेशा याद रखिएगा, अगर आप अकाउंटिंग में कोई अजम्पशन कर रहे हैं, कोई अजम्पशन बनाते हैं, जैसे अगर मेरे पास कोई डेज मेंशन नहीं है, मैंने 360 से डिवाइड किया, आप हमेशा एक नोट ऐड कर दीजिए अपने क्वेश्चंस में कि आई हैव अज्यूम्ड माय नंबर ऑफ डेज इन अ ईयर टू बी 360 और आई हैव अज्यूम्ड द डेज टू बी 365. मोस्ट लाइकली आप ये क्वेश्चंस मेंशन करेंगे. इफ दे डोंट, ऑलवेज राइट अ नोट. ऑलवेज सेफगार्ड योरसेल्फ टू इंश्योर कि अगर आपके आंसर की में उस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन के उस बंदे को कोई और आंसर दिख रहा है, पर वो 365 और 360 डेज ऐसी किसी चीज की वजह से फर्क है, तो वो आपके मार्क्स ना काटे. ऑलराइट, सो गाइस लेट्स टेक अ 5 मिनट्स ब्रेक. हम मैक्स टू मैक्स 9 बजे मिलेंगे. दैट्स अ 9 मिनट्स ब्रेक एक्चुअली. 9 p.m. Let's start with examples and then we'll proceed further.
Hello.
हेलो.
Yeah, tell me.
एग्जाम्पल नंबर 12 आप शो कर सकते हो. आपने जो एक्सेल में आपने था, मैंने क्वेश्चन नोट किया नहीं.
हाँ हाँ, नो प्रॉब्लम. ये आपको स्क्रीन दिख रहा है ना?
यस मैम. थैंक यू मैम.
Guys, is everybody back? Is everybody back, or are you guys still on break? Okay, Akanksha is saying yeah. So guys, I want you to solve this question. There is a company called ABC जिसके अगले साल के प्लान है कि वो 8 लाख के एसेट्स एम्प्लॉय करेगी और ये 50% ऑफ दीज एसेट्स फाइनेंस्ड होंगे एट एन इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट ऑफ 8% पर ईयर. उसकी डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट होंगी INR 4,80,000. योर अदर ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस ABC के होंगे 80,000 और जो सेल्स होंगी वो 150% ऑफ द डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट पे होगी और हमारा टैक्स रेट 50% है. So I want you guys to calculate the following ratios. Guys, if you guys want to write down the formula, sorry, I have not shown you the slides, but हम ये सारी चीजें cover कर चुके हैं. We've spoken about all the ratios, spoken about all the conversion periods. अगर आपको formulas, so here you go. This is your data collection period. 99% of the times it is calculated at 365 days divided by debtor turnover ratio. This is your creditor turnover ratio, which is 365 days divided by creditor turnover. This is your creditor payment period, sorry, which is 365 days divided by creditor turnover ratio. Your cash cycle is inventory conversion period plus debtor collection period minus creditor payment period. Got it, Akanksha?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Sahil.
Can you put some items like such as credit sale or credit purchase to make the example more comprehensive?
I'll do that in the next question, Sahil. Now people would have already started with this question. Guys, Sahil is saying done. Have you all also done it, or do you guys need more time? Guys, you need more time? Guys, I'll solve the question. I don't know how you guys do it, but I'll tell you how I do it. So my revenue, which is 150% of direct costs. So this would be 4,80,000 into 150%, which is 7,20,000. Akanksha, my sales are 7,20,000, not 6,90,000. I will subtract my direct costs, which are 4,80,000, and arrive at my gross profit, which is nothing but this minus this. Okay. I will have my operating expenses, which are 80,000. And can anyone tell me what is my will I have any kind of interest expense here? Guys, to reach my net profit before tax, what will I subtract more from this? What will I subtract? It will be my interest expense So interest expense is basically 8%. And what is the amount of loan on which the interest will be paid? It will be 50% of the assets. 50% of the assets means 4 lakh rupees, which is basically 50% into 8 lakh into 8%, right? So that will be 32,000. So your profit before tax is 128 and your tax is 50%. So your profit after tax is this into 50%, which is 64,000, right? Right, guys? So now I think it will
Ma'am,
be very easy
you
for you to
skipped the
calculate
EBIT.
your net.
You skipped the EBIT line item.
You can go. It doesn't matter, Sahil. I am ultimately required to calculate these ratios. I am calculating it in this way only to make you understand. I have not said that this, I have not calculated operating profit at all here. I have directly gone from gross profit to net profit because operating profit ratio, I have not asked you guys to take it out. My net profit margin ratio is very easy. It is your profit after tax divided by your sales into 100. So that is your 8.9%, right? No, Angsha, net profit is not 1,30,000, it is 1,28,000. Why did you say that it is 1,30,000? What was the confusion? Is this clear now? Do you want me to explain how I arrived here? Basically, see, assets 8 लाख के हैं, 50% के लोन या डिबेंचर्स या whatever से होने वाले हैं फाइनेंस, ठीक है? उस पे 8% का इंटरेस्ट है, जो मेरा इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस आ गया. मेरा ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट विल बी रेवेन्यू माइनस डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. जब मैं ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट से ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस और इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस माइनस करूंगी तो मेरा नेट प्रॉफिट आ गया. When I subtract tax, I get my net profit after tax. So my net profit ratio is nothing but 8.89%. What is your asset turnover ratio? Can anyone tell me? Will be your sales divided by your assets. So that will be 0.9, right? Guys, are you guys on the same page as me? Any confusion up till here? What will be your return on equity? Return on equity will be your net profit after tax divided by owner's equity. What is your owner's equity? It will be 4 lakh. Why? Because 4 lakh तो हमने बाहर से करा है ना finance. It will be a loan or a debenture or whatever, right? So this is 16%. Guys. Akanksha, is this clear? It was wrong due to sales. Can anyone tell me what is my return on assets ratio?
8%.
Sahil?
8%.
What is your return on assets ratio?
I'm saying 8%.
Okay. How did you calculate your return on assets ratio?
64 by 800.
Which should basically be 64,800. How did you get 64,800?
64 divided by 800. PAT divided by the total assets.
No, but we take EBIT divided by average total assets and you've taken it. Okay, that's right. So you have taken 64,000 divided by 8 lakhs, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely right. So it will be nothing but it will be 8%. Any confusion anywhere, guys, you guys have faced? Akanksha, is it clear? Guys, Akanksha is asking doubts. Sahil is answering so well. What about the others? What about the other participants who are on call? So guys, now we have already covered profitability ratios. We have already covered the activity and turnover ratio. Now the next set of ratios that I'm going to talk about is liquidity ratio. कोई मुझे बता देता है liquidity का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the liquidity ratio? क्या indicate होता है liquidity ratio से?
Ability of a firm to meet its daily cash requirements.
Yes. तो आपको याद है कि वर्किंग कैपिटल और कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड ये अलग कॉन्सेप्ट्स होते थे. हम कहते थे वर्किंग कैपिटल इज द कैपिटल रिक्वायर्ड टू मीट डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस. वैसे ही जब हम लिक्विडिटी और सॉल्वेंसी की बात करते हैं तो यू गाइस मस्ट रिमेंबर वन थिंग कि लिक्विडिटी जो आपकी होती है वो आपकी शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस को मैनेज करने की एबिलिटी को चेक करती है, बट जो सॉल्वेंसी होती है दैट रिलेट्स टू योर लॉन्ग टर्म डेट ऑब्लिगेशंस. ऑलराइट. So liquidity, आपको पता है there are so many companies, especially now in this corona time, wherein there is huge amount of shortage of cash and lot of firms, especially lot of startups, are not being able to manage their obligations and they are shutting down. So liquidity is a major concern for every organization. There may be a lot of organizations who also may be doing very well, but still may have liquidity crunches because cash in hand बहुत firms के पास नहीं होता. Alright, so liquidity ratio, we're going to talk about three ratios. One is current ratio, one is quick ratio, and one is your cash ratio. कोई मुझे नाम से बता सकता है कि current ratio का क्या मतलब होता होगा? If I don't tell you the formula, कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि what will be current ratio? Akanksha is saying in net profit margin ratio, the net profit we take is a net profit before tax. No, Akanksha, in net profit margin ratio, you take net profit after tax. Just like I've taken here, right? Now, can anyone tell me what is a current ratio? Current ratio is nothing but current assets divided by current liabilities. I hope आप लोगों को ये short forms में कोई problem नहीं होती है. Current assets divided by current liabilities का मतलब कोई मुझे पहले बताएगा current asset क्या होता है? What is a current asset? I'm going to ask anyone because apart from Akanksha and apart from Sahil, I think nobody else is there. Isha, why don't you tell me what are current assets?
Ma'am, it's a short-term assets which is for the period of less than 1 year and can be quickly converted into cash.
Yes. So basically वो assets जो आप sell करके quickly cash में convert कर पाए within a period of 12 months. Alright. Likewise, current liabilities are your short-term obligations which are required to be paid within a period of 12 months. Alright. So current ratio आपकी वो liquidity position check करता है that your current assets, आपके पास क्या इतने current assets है जो आपकी in hand current liabilities को meet कर पाए. It is actually a liquidity ratio which measures a firm's ability to pay off its short-term liabilities with its current assets. So guys, आपने सुना होगा कि people take loans for cars, people take loans for education, people take loans for building houses. आपने कभी सुना है कोई लोन लेता है अपना इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल देने के लिए या कोई लोन लेता है अपने डे टू डे खर्चे के लिए? No, right? Why? Because you want that you should be able to meet your short-term, your day-to-day operations through your regular income. You should not incur long-term debts to meet any of your day-to-day routine activities. So likewise, जैसे आपके एक personal खर्चे होते हैं, वैसे ही for a company, the objective is कि आपके पास इतने sufficient current assets होने चाहिए which can quickly be converted into cash जो आपकी current liabilities को meet कर सके. Of course, higher the ratio, the better it is. Generally, ideal scenario में 2:1 is considered to be a good current ratio. कोई मुझे बताएगा कि current और quick ratio में क्या फर्क होता है? Quick ratio को हम asset test ratio भी बोलते हैं. तो मुझे बता सकते हैं what is the difference between, and please someone apart from Sahil, because I think Sahil is so good in answering everything I ask him. I want someone else to answer.
I just saw the video on
Megha, why
LMS
don't you tell
Access.
me? So you saw the LMS access.
Yes,
Hello. Yes, Sahil,
I
but I
saw a
still
video.
appreciate कि आप हर question में इतने involved रहते हो. Okay. कोई मुझे बता सकते हैं क्विक रेशियो, करंट और क्विक रेशियो में ऐसा क्या फर्क होता है? जब करंट रेशियो मेजर कर ही रहा है करंट एसेट्स की एबिलिटी टू मीट इट्स करंट लायबिलिटीज, तो क्विक रेशियो में ऐसा क्या है जो करंट में नहीं है? Okay, Megha doesn't know, no issues. I will ask someone else. Bhavesh, do you know what is a quick ratio? Basically, quick ratio has more easily
Yeah, I have.
liquefying assets. बेसिकली आपका जो क्विक रेशियो होता है उसमें आपके प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस और आपकी इन्वेंट्री इंक्लूड नहीं होती है. इट इज नथिंग बट करंट एसेट्स माइनस इन्वेंट्री माइनस प्रीपेड एक्सपेंसेस डिवाइडेड बाय करंट लायबिलिटीज. Basically, inventory and prepaid expenses, even though they are current assets, they cannot be very quickly converted into cash in comparison to your other current assets like cash in hand, your cash equivalents, your short-term investments. So quick ratio has more easily liquefying assets, and इसीलिए इसको एसेट टेस्ट रेशियो बोला जाता है, बिकॉज ये अपने मोस्ट लिक्विड एसेट्स जो इमीडिएटली कैश में कन्वर्ट हो सकते हैं या ऑलरेडी कैश ही होते हैं उसके साथ अपनी करंट लायबिलिटीज को कंपेयर करता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपका क्विक रेशियो से 0.5 है तो इसका ये मतलब है कि कंपनी अपनी आधी कर पा रही है marketable securities divided by your current liabilities. All right, so basically you need to understand one thing, that all your liquidity ratios cover nothing but your ability to meet your short-term obligations. Guys, is that clear? I'm going to make you guys do a couple of questions on this. Just give me 1 minute. Let me also cover solvency ratios and then let me give you combined questions so that it's a little more confusing. Okay. So guys, अभी मैंने आपको ये बात बताई थी कि जब हम ये लिक्विडिटी रेशियो की बात करते हैं तो हम शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस की बात करते हैं, बट जब हम सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो की बात करते हैं तो हम लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी की बात करते हैं. मतलब क्या कि एक कंपनी अपने लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज को कैसे मैनेज कर रही है. ऑलराइट, सबको एवरीबडी नोज व्हाट अ हाइब्रिड इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज. सबको पता होता है कि इक्विटी शेयर्स क्या हैं, डिबेंचर्स क्या हैं, प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स क्या हैं. कोई मुझे बता सकता है हाइब्रिड इंस्ट्रूमेंट का क्या मतलब होता है? एनीवन? Dear Pankaj saying no, Megha saying no. Anybody knows what a hybrid instrument is? Hybrid instrument वो
Can I try
instrument
that?
होता है जिसमें more than one instrument. Yeah, Sahil, go ahead.
So the instrument which have features of both debt and equity. So a practical example would be a mutual fund having a hybrid investment class as a hybrid. So that would I
Basically,
remember
what
hybrid.
Sahil is trying to say, basically, sorry, what Sahil is trying to say is that it has features of more than one instrument. मतलब for example, कि अगर आपकी डेट है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो कन्वर्टेबल डेट है जो इक्विटी में कन्वर्ट हो सकती है, all right, so that will be treated as a hybrid instrument. Why? Because it has features of both debt and equity. या फिर आपकी preference shares हैं which have a definite redemption date, that will be treated as a hybrid instrument because it has features of both debt and equity. All right, so under capital structure ratios we are going to do the following ratios. I want you guys to just note down this table. आप इसको note down कर लो. Then we'll start talking about each of these 5 ratios, which are debt equity ratios, total debt upon EBITDA or net debt upon EBITDA, debt to capital employed, debt service coverage ratio, and interest coverage ratio. Guys, let me know once you've noted it down. Okay, so Isha is saying, can you please repeat hybrid instrument? So hybrid instrument is actually an instrument which has features of two instruments. For example, जैसे आपके इक्विटी और प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स होते हैं, उसकी कोई स्पेसिफिक रिडीमेबल डेट नहीं होती है, राइट? बट आपकी जो डेट होती है या डिबेंचर्स होते हैं, उनकी एक स्पेसिफिक डेट होती है जब तक आपको उनको रीपे करना होता है. या फिर आपकी फॉर एग्जांपल आप पे कोई डेट है जो इन द लॉन्ग रन हैज द फीचर ऑफ बीइंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू इक्विटी शेयर्स. That is a hybrid instrument. Why? Because it has the features of both debt and equity. या फिर आपके कोई प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स हैं जिसके कोई स्पेसिफिक रिडीमेबल डेट है. So what is that? That will be treated as a hybrid instrument. Hybrid means something which has features of more than one instrument. जैसे आप कह लो convertible bonds या convertible debt. All right. Guys, once you've noted this down, I'm going to start talking about your solvency ratio. Your first solvency ratio is nothing but debt equity ratio. It is nothing but your total debt divided by equity. What does this mean? It means what is the percentage of debt in comparison to the equity in the capital of the firm. मतलब कि एक कंपनी ने कितनी डेट ली है in comparison to the equity that is invested by the promoters in the firm. All right. Guys, I am going to do questions of all and explain all of them in the form of questions as well, so don't worry. What is your total debt to EBITDA ratio? मतलब आपकी total debt minus cash divided by EBITDA. EBITDA सबको याद है? Earning before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization मैंने कल कराया था. Everybody remembers EBITDA, right? So what is this ratio? This ratio is nothing but total debt minus cash divided by EBITDA. इसका क्या मतलब है कि it is calculated by taking the total debt minus जो cash in hand आपके पास है and dividing it by EBITDA. Usually जब lenders loan देते हैं कंपनी को, debt upon EBITDA ratio is actually very important ratio और एक high ratio ये indicate करता है कि एक कंपनी के EBITDA मतलब before its interest expense, before its depreciation and amortization expense, एक कंपनी के पास ऑलरेडी कितनी डेट है आफ्टर द कैश दैट इट हैज ऑलरेडी पेड. ऑल राइट, ये एक्चुअली बैंक बोरोइंग या बहुत सारे लेंडर्स बहुत क्लोजली वॉच करते हैं, बिकॉज ये दिखाता है कि इवन बिफोर अर्निंग से जो इंटरेस्ट के एक्सपेंसेस सब्ट्रैक्ट हुए और टोटल डेट से आपने कैश हटा दिया, तब भी कितनी डेट एक कंपनी के पास है। और जब आप बात करते हो डेट टू कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड रेशियो की, which is nothing but your total debt divided by equity plus your net debt. Alright, इसका क्या मतलब? इसका मतलब है कि आपकी टोटल डेट एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ टोटल कैपिटल ऑफ द फर्म कितनी है। मतलब कि आपकी एक्स अमाउंट ऑफ डेट एक पूरे कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द फर्म की कितनी परसेंटेज है। ये इंडिकेट करती है कि कितनी इंटेंसिटी ऑफ डेट एम्प्लॉयड है एक पर्टिकुलर फर्म में। सो जब हमने डेट इक्विटी रेशियो किया, हमने ये मेजर किया कि डेट कितनी परसेंटेज है इक्विटी की। पर जब हम डेट टू कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड रेशियो करते हैं तो हम ये चेक करते हैं कि पूरे कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड के कंपैरिजन में टोटल डेट कितनी है। ऑलराइट, नाउ व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो, वी टॉक अबाउट कि कंपनी कितना इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस बेयर कर पा रही है। मतलब EBIT डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस, जिसका मतलब ये है कि एक कंपनी अपने कितने इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंसेस रीपे कर पाएगी फ्रॉम इट्स अर्निंग बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्सेस। तो अगर एक बहुत हाई इंटरेस्ट कवरेज रेशियो होता है तो इसका ये मतलब होता है कि कंपनी लेस रिस्की है बिकॉज उसकी अर्निंग ज्यादा है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if my EBIT is 100 and my total interest expense is say 50, and here it is 200 and it is 50, and here it is 50 and here it is 40. All right, so what will be my interest coverage ratio? तो सबसे हाई क्यों बेटर है? बिकॉज इट शोज दैट एक कंपनी के पास ज्यादा अर्निंग्स है थ्रू विच इट विल बी इजीली पॉसिबल फॉर द कंपनी टू रीपे इट्स डेट्स का इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस। ऑलराइट, तो इसमें हमने क्या बात करी कि कितनी अर्निंग बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्स है टू रीपे द इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस। अब जब हम डेट सर्विस कवरेज रेशियो की बात करते हैं तो इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, नेट प्रॉफिट प्लस डेप्रीसिएशन प्लस अमोर्टाइजेशन प्लस इंटरेस्ट, इसको हम डिवाइड करते हैं नॉट ओनली इंटरेस्ट से बट ऑल्सो प्रिंसिपल पेमेंट से। मतलब कि हमारे पास कितनी अर्निंग बिफोर इंटरेस्ट डेप्रीसिएशन एंड अमोर्टाइजेशन हुई, जिससे हम नॉट ओनली इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस बट ऑल्सो उसकी प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट ऑफ लोन को भी रीपे कर पा रहे हैं। प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ईच ऑफ दीज रेशियो। जब कोई डेट इक्विटी बोलता है, इट मीन्स परसेंटेज ऑफ डेट टू परसेंटेज ऑफ इक्विटी। टोटल डेट टू एबिटा, मतलब कि हमारी टोटल डेट आफ्टर हमने जो कैश पे कर दिया कितनी परसेंटेज ऑफ एबिटा है, मतलब हम कितना एबिटा है हमारे पास अपनी टोटल डेट को कवर करने के लिए। डेट टू कैपिटल एम्प्लॉय, मतलब हमारे पास पूरे कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर में कितनी डेट है। इंटरेस्ट कवरेज, मतलब हमारे पास कितनी EBIT, कितनी अर्निंग बिफोर इंटरेस्ट एंड टैक्स है टू कवर फॉर द टोटल इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस। लाइकवाइज जब हम डेट सर्विस कवरेज रेशियो की बात करते हैं, मतलब हमारे पास कितनी अर्निंग बिफोर डेप्रिसिएशन अमोर्टाइजेशन इंटरेस्ट है जो नॉट ओनली इंटरेस्ट बट ऑल्सो प्रिंसिपल एक्सपेंस कवर कर सके। गाइस मुझे अब एक बात बताओ कि जब मैंने ये 4 रेशियोज डिस्कस करे, अब अगर किसी की सॉल्वेंसी इट्स इन एन ऑलमोस्ट इंसॉल्वेंसी सिचुएशन, what would you do to improve solvency ratios for a particular company? Can you all tell me? What would you do to improve the solvency situation of a particular company? Guys, are you all there? What is it that you will do to improve the solvency situation of a particular company? सॉल्वेंसी सिचुएशन अगर बहुत बुरी है, इसका क्या मतलब है कि कंपनी के पास इतने लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज है, इतने लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस हैं जो वो रीपे नहीं कर पा रही है. So what will be certain measures to improve the solvency ratio of a particular company?
To get rid of the debt?
Yes, it would be firstly कि आप और debt मत लो. आपकी जो existing debt है, आप अपने assets को sell करके जो आपके irrelevant assets है, जो आपके unused, जो आपके unproductive assets है, उनको आप sell करके अपनी debt कम करो. अपना business structure ऐसे reorganize करो कि आपकी debt कम हो. आपने you reinvest your money and assets in such a way कि आपकी returns maximize हो. You try to increase the owner's equity and you reduce the debt, right? So solvency is a very, very major concern for every company. Guys, I would want you guys to do one thing. Till now, we have covered the following set of ratios, which is
Hello, Divya.
yes, Sahil. So we have covered the profitability, the activity, liquidity ratios. We are yet to cover a very important set of ratio which is called valuation ratios. I'm going to give you examples for each of those ratios. At least हम 20-25 questions करेंगे on every set of ratio. But I'm thinking maybe I should start with valuation ratio or you think that I should give you a couple of examples for the current ratio जो अभी तक मैंने आपको कराए हैं. You guys tell me.
Hello, Divya.
हाँ जी बताइए.
Hello, Divya. In quick ratio, you have taken current liabilities as a denominator, whereas it should be current liabilities minus bank overdraft. It should be quick liabilities.
No, Sahil, in quick ratio, it is current assets minus prepaid expenses minus inventory divided by your current liabilities only.
But in some cases, we have seen that it is current liabilities minus overdraft.
But why so your bank overdraft will still be your liability? Why will you subtract it? The
I don't know. I have
objective, what is
seen
the objective? I am asking you a question and you can be, I am not saying that you have not seen it. I am asking you a question that why do you think these quick and current ratios are calculated?
ma'am, because
These are
it has a
calculated.
time.
Hmm.
The whole purpose of reducing bank overdraft from current liability would be that because bank overdraft is not payable immediately. We have some time lag in between to repay to the bank. So maybe only
So
for
your
that
quick
reason.
ratio is not So your quick ratio is not measuring कि आपकी कौन सी current liability 10 दिन में due है, कौन सी 2 महीने में due है, कौन सी 5 महीने में due है. It is not measuring कि आपके current liabilities जो immediately due नहीं है आप उनको हटा दो. It is measuring कि आपके पास कितने current assets हैं, कितने quick assets हैं, कितनी current liquidity है कि आपकी जो current liabilities 12 महीने में due हैं, which can be a liability which is due in 1 day, or it can be a liability which can be due in 11 months or 12 months. So it is measuring कि आपके पास कितने current या कितने quick assets हैं to cover for your current liabilities. So आपकी bank overdraft is a current liability even if it is not due in 5 days or 10 days or 2 months, which you probably mean by immediate. Then also it is a current liability, right? So you will not subtract. हम यहाँ पे ये नहीं देख रहे हैं कि आपके पास equivalent quick assets हैं quick liabilities को meet करने के लिए. No, आपके पास कितने quick assets हैं जो most liquid assets हैं, कितने quick assets हैं कि आपकी entire current liabilities को meet कर सके. All right. Sahil.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
I'm just doing the Google.
Okay. So guys, I have a couple of questions. I'm just okay. Guys, can you see my Excel sheet? या आपको मेरी Excel sheet नहीं दिख रही है? Guys, can you see my Excel sheet?
No.
But I'm already sharing the. Okay. Now can you see it?
Sorry. No. Not visible yet.
See, probably now you guys can see it.
Sorry, Divya, it's not still. It's still not visible.
Nobody can see it. That's okay. Let me reshare that. Can you all see it now? I restarted it. Please tell me once you guys can see it. I've written 2 questions for you guys to do. Guys, आपको दिख रहा है? Guys? Hello? Guys, are you
Can't
there?
see your screen, ma'am. Can't see the Excel, ma'am.
You can't see it? अभी देखिए.
Yes, yes.
You can see it now?
I think you have. I think you have to switch between the screens. Maybe if you do Alt Tab, then.
See, can you see it?
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay. So guys, can you answer this question for me? During the financial year 2019-20, Aston Limited has purchased certain furniture and fixtures on long-term deferred payment basis. तो इसका impact आपके current ratio पे क्या होगा? And I'll pick anyone to answer. I'll pick भावेश. भावेश, अगर एक कंपनी एस्टर मोटर ने फर्नीचर और फिक्सचर्स खरीदे हैं लॉन्ग टर्म डेफर्ड पेमेंट बेसिस पे, उसका इम्पैक्ट करंट रेशियो पे क्या होगा?
Ma'am, I have no idea.
Okay, but I already explained the current ratio. What is the current ratio?
Ma'am, I'm not sure.
So Bhavesh, current ratio is nothing but your current assets divided by current liabilities. आपके current assets वो होते हैं which are basically your cash in hand, your marketable securities, those assets which are either in the form of cash or can easily be get converted into cash within a period of next 12 months. Current liabilities आपकी वो liabilities होती हैं which are due within the next 12 months. All right, so this is something for a short term. This measures the short-term ability of a firm to repay its current liabilities from its current assets. तो ये ratio ये judge करता है कि एक firm के पास enough current assets हैं कि नहीं कि वो अपनी current liabilities को repay कर सके. All right. So current assets. Can you tell me will your furniture and fixture be a current asset? Bhavesh? Your furniture and
Ma'am,
fixture
your
will
voice
be a
was breaking.
long-term asset, right? Because your furniture and fixture will be a long-term asset because it is for long-term use. It is going to provide you long-term benefits. आप ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आप रोज फर्नीचर खरीदेंगे, right? अगर आप लॉन्ग टर्म डेफर्ड पेमेंट बेसिस पे ले रहे हैं तो मतलब आपकी करंट लायबिलिटी पे कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं हो रहा है क्योंकि वो करंट लायबिलिटी है ही नहीं. So there will be no impact. Your current ratio will remain constant क्योंकि अगर आपकी से current assets 50,000 है, आपकी current liabilities 10,000 है, तो आपकी furniture fixture पे ना तो आपकी current asset पे फर्क पड़ा और ना आपके long term deferred payment से current liability पे फर्क पड़ा. So your current ratio will remain constant. भावेश, अगर आपको करंट रेशियो नहीं समझ आया था तो यू शुड हैव आस्क्ड मी व्हेन आई वाज एक्सप्लेनिंग. आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम इन एक्सप्लेनिंग द सेम थिंग 10 टाइम्स गाइस. प्लीज आस्क मी, प्लीज गो रॉन्ग इन क्वेश्चन सो दैट आपको चीजें समझ आए, आप उसको करेक्ट कर पाए. अगर एस्टर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के
Ma'am, actually the thing
नेट सेल्स
is,
15 लाख. हाँ जी भावेश.
shall I?
या टेल मी.
So, ma'am, actually the thing is,
भावेश,
I'm not sure about others, but I am really, yeah, can you hear me now?
आई कैन हियर यू.
Okay, I'm not sure about others, but I am really not able to get the 100% of what I should get from these couple of classes of ratios. Okay, so honestly, ma'am, let's leave it. I will share my feedback with Damini, so that's okay. You please continue.
Okay. What about the others? Aditya, Sahil, Isha, Dipali. Is there any issue, Megha, in understanding what I'm trying to teach you guys? Because I am unsure why current ratio, Bhavesh, you could not understand in spite of me explaining it so much.
Want me to tell you?
That's okay. Sure, tell me.
So please don't mind me saying this, ma'am. Okay, I have already texted Damini about this, but she um, not responding on the phone. So I don't know who to look out for. So honestly, I was not at all aware about what all kind of ratios are there. Exam. Okay. So let's suppose I'm a person who arranges travel guides, and I'm kind of travel guide to a person, to your family, let's suppose. So we are going to visit India now. All right. So I'll tell you, this is India. That means this is ratios. There are 5 parts in India: east, west, north, south. That means liquidity, solvency, activity, and profitability. And I don't know about others. So I should have understand these things in that particular way. But we all, I don't know why we all started from DuPont analysis. I was able to get you. Everyone was okay with this. Our so many classes has been cancelled, and I didn't want to ruin anyone's else's time. So that's why I chose to be whatever it is. So I gave myself a little bit of time today to get my hands on ratios. Although thanks to YouTube and Google, I was able to get it. But honestly, it should have been done in that ways. I was not aware about DuPont analysis and anything, return on investment, return on anything. But yes, so
Okay, I'll ask the others.
that's how it should have been, ma'am.
Okay,
But
Bhavesh,
yes, for the sake of attending this class,
I'll
I'm
ask
attending this class, ma'am.
Bhavesh,
That's
let
right.
me
Yeah.
also ask
That's why I'm.
others. Bhavesh, let me ask others also. Sahil, Aditya, Kanksha, Dipali, Isha, has there been any issue in the way I've been explaining anything? Or have I not answered any query, or have I not repeated myself if you guys have faced any issue? Because I'm interested in knowing so that I can also improve if I have gone wrong somewhere. But I'm interested in understanding कि क्या problem क्या हो रही है. I mean, I am very interested in helping you guys. So आप please बताइए that what is, I mean, Sahil, for example, you answer the most, or Akanksha, or Isha, or anyone for that matter. What is your feedback?
Divya, I do not have any problem in your style of teaching. So I understood what you taught today
Okay.
and yesterday.
Okay, great.
Also,
Aditya,
maybe because I was
Akanksha,
prepared well in advance, so maybe I was able to grasp
everything has
better
been
and
fine
faster.
until we started liquidity and everything went so fast. Okay, Akanksha, no problem. I will do liquidity all over again with you guys. So that you guys, okay, I'm going very fast. Okay, Isha, don't worry. I will teach you liquidity all over again and we'll go very, very slow. All right, don't worry. Any other feedback? Liquidity we'll do all over again if you guys have been if you guys feel that I've been way too fast in liquidity ratios, I'll start liquidity ratios from scratch. Any other feedback? Have you guys not understood what I was saying? If I mean I will start liquidity all over again, but आपको और कोई issue face हुआ? Megha, Dipali, Akanksha, Sahil I've already asked. Saloni, Parul, guys, what I'll do is I will start with liquidity all over again. If you guys have not even understood activity, we will do that also all over again. I have no issues in taking your session for a longer period of time. मैं आपका liquidity फिर से शुरू करती हूँ. So what we are going to talk about now again is liquidity ratios. So liquidity ratios guys हमने ये बात करी थी कि लिक्विडिटी क्या मेजर करती है. लिक्विडिटी ये मेजर करती है कि एक फर्म अपनी शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस को मीट कर पा रही है या नहीं. अब आप मुझे बताइए करंट लायबिलिटीज क्या होती हैं, आपकी शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस क्या होती हैं. आपकी शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस वो होती हैं जो आप विद इन अ पीरियड ऑफ 12 months ड्यू होती हैं आपको पे करने के लिए. दोज आर योर शॉर्ट टर्म ऑब्लिगेशंस. So liquidity ratio does nothing but actually measures कि एक firm के पास enough short term current assets हैं कि वो अपनी short term obligations को meet कर पाए. Right? So if a firm has enough current assets or enough quick assets to cover for its current liabilities, its liquidity position is considered to be sound. So we have three liquidity ratios that we are going to talk about, which are current ratio, quick ratio and cash ratio. Under current ratio, we have current assets divided by current liabilities. Current liabilities are the liabilities that are due to be paid within a period of 12 months. All right. For example, अगर आप एक बैंक लोन लेते हो जो आपको 36 months में पे करना है, that is not your current liability, that is your long-term liability. Likewise, current assets are those assets which are expected to be converted into cash within a period of 1 year. All right. So an ideal current ratio is 2:1 and it measures the ability of any firm to cover the current liabilities without selling off any long-term assets and by only meeting the current liabilities through its current assets. When we talk about quick ratio talks about the most liquefying assets, which are the assets apart from inventory and apart from prepaid expenses, because those two are not most liquid assets. All right. So it measures कि आपके पास कितना extent of cash है और कितने extent of बाकी quick assets हैं जो बहुत easily आपके cash में convert हो सकते हैं while repaying your current liabilities. All right. Guys, am I going too fast even now? Dipali, you will have to keep revising formulas again and again. It is not easy. I understand. आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Hello.
Yeah, who's there?
Hello. Hi,
Yeah,
Divya.
who's there?
This is Meg. Actually, one request. Can you share the yesterday's Excel sheet where you have solved so many questions
Yeah.
with the answers?
What I'll do
Okay.
is, yeah. What I'll do is I'll share it with Damini today after this
Yeah,
session,
because
and
today I
then
was practicing. I was not making out as fast as what others are doing, but literally every person is different,
Okay.
and every person is from different backgrounds. So we need some time to catch up.
Okay,
That's
I
it.
understand. No problem. I'll share the Excel sheet with Damini and she can share it with you guys. इसमें हर question जो भी हुआ है discussion आपके लिए relevant है वो आप उसको देख सकते हो. All right.
Yeah,
So
sure.
guys, then
Thank you.
we talk about no problem. Then we talk about cash ratio. Cash ratio का तो directly ये meaning है कि आपके पास enough कितना cash balance है या कितने marketable securities हैं. क्या सबको पता है marketable securities क्या होते हैं? मार्केटेबल सिक्योरिटीज वो शॉर्ट टर्म लिक्विड सिक्योरिटीज होते हैं जो आपके पब्लिक स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस में सेल हो सकते हैं विद इन अ पीरियड ऑफ 1 year. बेसिकली दे आर योर वेरी वेरी लिक्विड एसेट्स. सो कैश रेशियो इंडिकेट्स कि कंपनी के पास कितना इनफ कैश बैलेंस है टू कवर फॉर द करंट लायबिलिटीज. अगर कैश रेशियो इज नॉट, if the position of a company is almost next to shutdown, your cash ratios will indicate that situation. All right. So guys, what I'll do is मैं आपको आपके नेक्स्ट सेशन में सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो शुरू कराने से पहले हम बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस करेंगे ऑन कैश रेशियो एंड करंट रेशियो एंड क्विक रेशियो एंड देन वी विल प्रोसीड टू योर सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो ताकि आपको फॉर्मूलाज का भी थोड़ा हैंग ऑफ इट हो जाए. आई अंडरस्टैंड कि आपके लिए भी बहुत ज्यादा हो गया है कि इतने सारे फॉर्मूलाज एक साथ आपके लिए आ रहे हैं. दैट इज वाई ये सेशन 2-2 घंटे में डिवाइडेड है. आप प्लीज जो भी मैं 2 घंटे में कराती हूँ आप जाके उसको रिवाइज करें. एंड नाउ आई विल ट्राई टू गो मोर स्लो एंड आई विल ट्राई टू डू मोर क्वेश्चंस ताकि आपको एक फॉर्मूला सेटल हो जाए आपके दिमाग. ऑलराइट guys, I genuinely want to know that, say on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being good and 1 being horrible, how do you think this session was so that I can improvise? You guys can write it on chat. I will not mind. All right. Okay. थैंक यू सो मच. एंड जिनको भी गाइस फॉर्मूला में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है, आप प्लीज हमने जो भी रेशियोज अभी तक करे हैं प्लीज रिवाइज दोस फॉर्मूलाज. आप थोड़ा बहुत आप एक काम करो, रात को जस्ट 15 minutes आप लुक एट द फॉर्मूलाज. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आप रट लो सारे, बट द मोर यू लुक एट देम द मोर यू विल गेट द हैंग ऑफ इट एंड आई विल मेक श्योर दैट यू डू कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव क्वेश्चंस विद मी जिसमें बहुत सारे रेशियोज एक क्वेश्चन में इन्वॉल्व हो. ऑलराइट. And Bhavesh, give it some time. If there is a particular flow of a particular class, try to understand the flow instead of finding faults. I try to explain the current ratio to you. If you did not understand, I expect you to ask me.
I'm sorry. No offenses to you, but you took it personally now. This should not be the way, ma'am. I must tell you. I understood all the things from YouTube videos. Those are much better. I'm telling you. I'm not saying that you were teaching me wrong. Your efforts were, those were gone in vain, ma'am. I'm not saying that. I truly respect your efforts, but every individual has their own way of understanding the things. And I think Aditya was very much clear yesterday itself that he start from scratch. Although you started it from scratch, guys, what is ratios? Somebody asked the question, somebody answered the question, but again you suddenly jump to
So let
viewpoint
me tell you,
allowances.
Bhavesh, I started from scratch to the point जो topics आपके ratio के curriculum में जो इस session में होता है, वो भी मैंने उससे बहुत ज़्यादा cover किया है to the point of explaining every particular term. So you may make note of that. Anyway, I'll try to be more in detail next session and we will do more questions so that nobody has issues with the formulas or with the terms.
Ma'am, you know what? I know that you're not gonna, I don't know what about DuPont analysis and everything, because I don't think that Ematicas have that much enough room for, sessions to repeat again and again. So what I will do, I'll ask for someone to give me some recordings of the sessions and then I'll try and get hold on DuPont analysis, or else I will go with YouTube videos, because I think we are not choosers. So I have understood this thing from Ematicas, and I'll share this feedback with somebody who is in charge now, because Damini is not at all listening, and I think this is recorded, and somebody from Ematicas should listen to this recording. And people have no guts to say this thing. I must tell you this thing, ma'am. So I'm speaking on my behalf. This is my feedback. No personal offenses to you, ma'am. You are great. You have been a great trainer,
Bhavesh, I
but
think I've
my
already
understanding
taken,
is different,
Bhavesh,
ma'am.
I think I've already taken, Bhavesh, I think you should also let someone else also speak. I have taken feedback from others
Ma'am,
as well, and you can clearly see the feedback from others as well. So I would also like it if you only speak for yourself. Thank you so
I am
much.
only speaking for
Thank
myself,
you,
ma'am.
guys.
Yeah.
We will meet next session and we will start again from liquidity ratios for everybody who felt that they are, even if one person in the class has felt that they are confused, we will start all over again. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Kanksha. Thank you so much.
Bhavish, are you there?